It's a new day, Noonan. Yes, it is, and it is me, the Big Steve, the Steve Daddy, the King and the Prince and the Pauper, the littlest of all the mermaids. And I am joined, as always, but not always, but a lot of the times, by Harriet.
Harriet, that's me.
Harriet, how the hell?
That's a question I ask myself every day.
And
I
how
wake
the
up,
hell today?
how the hell today? How the hell today is good. It's a good old time. I made a new character in Baldur's Gate 3, one of them games.
Oh no, nerd talk.
That's me.
Explain Baldur's Gate 3 to someone who is not a nerd.
All right. Um, you spend 7 hours in the character customization screen. Then you're dropped on to this weird ship that's made of like squids. And also there's a squid guy who wants to put like a parasite in your eye, and he does that. And then you're like, oh shoot, I don't want a parasite in my eye. And it's supposed to turn you into a squid guy in like 2 days, but then it doesn't. So
Womp
you're
womp.
real confused. And then you meet a bunch of other weird people, and they're all just like, we kind of hate you right now, but we won't after you pick our right dialogue option. And then you make friends with all of them. And then you all are a merry band of adventurers, but also you could make right decisions, but if you roll the wrong dice, it sucks to be you. Your character might die.
Now
And also,
wait a minute, Harriet. Video games rolling dice? That don't make no sense.
let me introduce you to the wide world of dice rolling virtually. For all you D&D players out there. Wait, no, 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 this is for people who aren't nerds. For all you people out there who have seen a pair of dice before, it's like that, but you click on the screen and then it rolls it for you.
And it's actually cooler than you're even making it sound. So, like,
Oh, and
imagine that you're driving around and you come to a four-way stop, and you and the car across from you, y'all both came to at the same time, and so you're like, you know what, I am gonna try to just go and assume this car is gonna follow the rules, but the car doesn't follow the rules. The car also thinks it's their turn, so they're gonna go at the same time. So let's say the difficulty between 1 and 20 of not getting hit by that car is 8, because he's going from a stop and you're going from a stop, so both of you can slam on your brakes again. So we say, all right, let's roll a dice. So you take a dice that has 1 through 20. Your difficulty is an 8, and you roll that dice and you see if you can get an 8 or higher. If you get higher than an 8, you're good. You pass around them. Maybe if you just barely get an 8, maybe they honk at you and you honk back at them, but you're able to get around them. And then if you get less than an 8, like a 7 or a 6 or a 5, maybe it's a little bumper bender and you guys bump into each other in the cars.
then if you're rolling that one, you're getting hit.
Yes, and then there's called Nat 1. What is a Nat 1?
And that one is when you roll the D20 or the 20-sided dice, and it rolls right on that lowest number. And when that happens in the game, it's called a critical failure. So that means the
Critical
worst thing that could happen is
failure.
gonna happen.
So it wouldn't even be a crash. If you roll a Nat 1, which means a natural 1, that
Mhm.
would be like you get hit by the car and your car tips over and then a bird flies by and it shits through your window and it gets bird shit all over you.
And then as you're getting out of the car, you slip on the bird, and you
You
just
slip
fall.
on the bird.
Yes, the bird, because it flies under you. This is the worst case scenario.
Okay. I didn't know if you were uncomfortable saying the S word. Wait, are you uncomfortable saying the S word? You can just say
Oh,
yes.
no, I'll say
Don't
shit.
say it. Oh,
Too late. Too late. It's
Jesus.
because
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry about her.
I rolled a natural one on my communication skills there.
Now, when we say natural versus unnatural, there are you have like abilities, right? So let's take this driving scenario. Let's say you have strength. And if you're really really strong, then you get pluses added to your roll. So let's say you rolled a 5, but your strength is really high. So that means no matter what, if you're rolling something related to strength, you get to roll, you get to add to it. You get to be like, oh, I rolled a 5, but I'm using strength to like yank my steering wheel around. So therefore, I'm going to add 3 to it. And now you have your 8.
And then you don't get to trip over birds.
Then you don't trip over it. But then
But
you
also,
have.
yeah, but then you have the negative modifiers. So let's say
Hmm.
you're real weak. And that steering wheel, man, that's just a real strong steering wheel.
Yup.
Yeah, you get those negative modifiers. So maybe you rolled your 8. You rolled exactly 8 and you think you're good, but then you got a -1.
And that's for
And
any roll. If you have bad strength, that means any roll you do that has to do with strength, you have to take away some numbers. So it sounds complicated, but it's actually not that complicated.
yeah, and it'll show you in the game all your different stats, and you can actually pick and choose and
Oh yeah,
create
I
a.
forgot we were talking about the video game.
There's also Dungeons and Dragons, the game that this game is based off of. It's a game in a game. Game squared.
I'm taking off my jacket, everyone, in case you hear a zip. What are there's 6 main stats in Dungeons and Dragons and Baldur's Gate. There's let me see if I can guess. Let me see if I know. There's strength. There's
Yep.
dexterity,
Yup.
which are like athleticsy type things.
You got it.
There's charisma,
That's 3.
intelligence,
That's 4.
wisdom.
That's 5.
And what is the difference between wisdom and intelligence?
Wisdom, I would say, is like street smarts. I guess that's how I kind of do that. Like you have the wisdom to not like if you're playing a game and there's like a big red button. Maybe you have the wisdom not to press that button. I'd say intelligence is like how much you actually know. Like maybe book smarts is how I'd call that.
Okay, so let's take our scenario. So wisdom would be if the driver across from you is a driver from out of town. You would be wise enough to be like, "Ooh, they're probably not going to be as good of a driver around here because they're from out of town." Intelligence would be if it's raining and you're like, "Hey, I know that raining will make it slicker for the cars, so I need to be a little bit smarter." Yeah?
Yeah, I would say that's good. It's like intelligence, like that logical thinking. Wisdom is like, yo, I shouldn't do that because, yeah, it's like I guess like human nature versus just the book smarts.
And then finally, the last one is constitution.
Yeah.
And constitution is what?
Constitution is like how sturdy your character is, how much of a hit they can take.
So that would be like in this scenario, you pull in front of the car and that car hits you. And are you going to get hurt really, really bad or not?
Exactly. And there's different stats in both the game and in D&D where you have a certain kind of armor class that adds to. So it really does show you how sturdy you are. So maybe you're wearing full chainmail while driving your car.
Yeah, but what's a more realistic modern day version of chainmail?
Maybe you're wearing a really thick t-shirt.
Oh my god.
That thing is so sturdy that when the car hits you, it bounces off of the t-shirt and it don't even
Yes,
stick
that's
to you.
so much more realistic.
Exactly. That happened to me yesterday
You got in a car wreck yesterday?
with a thick t-shirt. Yeah, and then the car bounced right off me.
That's what you Fayettevillers do. Y'all can't drive for nothing.
That's true. That's why we wear thick t-shirts.
Oh, you came to Sharpsburg yesterday, didn't you?
What day was it? I guess I did. Yes, I did.
So I don't know who the worst drivers are. I'd probably say Noonan are the worst drivers. Peachtree City drivers is a lot of traffic, but it's not because they don't know what they're doing with driving. It's because the design of the streets and the amount of just people there are is just so much.
Yes, I will say, if you want to know where the worst drivers are, as a person who lives kind of on the cusp of Peach City and Fayetteville has some interesting drivers.
Interesting or bad?
Bad.
What makes them bad?
I've every time I go into Fayetteville, at least one like bad driver is on the road. Rather like cutting into the turn lane without a signal, like right in front of you, so you have to slam on your brakes, or like holding up traffic because they're doing a 3-point turn in the middle of an intersection. There's so many things.
All you have to do is make a good strength check, and you can
That's
swerve around them.
true. I do while I'm driving. I look down at my dice tray. That is, a dice tray is where you roll the dice if you don't want it to go all over the place. And I put it in my middle console and I roll a d20. I roll down the window and the officer goes, "Ma'am, do you know how we pulled you over?" And I roll a d20. If it rolls on a 5, I go, "No." And if it rolls on a 10 or higher, I go, "Yes." But I'm not telling
See,
you.
now this is a bad example because that is not how the game works. You can say whatever you want to say. It's your ability to do things that are different. You don't have to
All right,
roll the dice to see if you can say yes or no. What is
all right,
this
I
disgusting
roll,
fantasy you are forcing upon us?
I'm doing a different D&D version. Now I roll a 5 and I say, "Yes, officer." And the officer doesn't believe me. And then I get a ticket. I roll a 10 and the officer goes, "Hmm, okay." And then lets me off with a warning. I roll a 20 and the officer apologizes and just leaves. He doesn't even say anything. He doesn't go, "You know, pulled you over." I roll down the window. He looks at me. He goes, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Oh, I'm sorry, you're good. That's adorable. Well, we're talking about games today, everyone. We are talking about all sorts of games, but mainly we are talking about our new favorite game. Not favorite game, but a new game that we are playing, and that is Bingo.
Bingo.
We are talking mainly today, of all the things to possibly talk about, we are talking about bingo because Wednesday nights at Whimsical Cafe, I'm sure you've seen me talk about it, I host bingo night, baby.
Woo.
And I believe in my podcast I have already talked about bingo a few times, but now we're talking more about it because Harriet, our sweet, sweet Harriet, has come and played bingo for her first time ever last week.
And it was delightful.
And she claims it was delightful.
I claim it and I know it. You know,
What did you think it was going to be like versus when you got there?
I always picture bingo and like I picture the speed kind of bingo. So it's like people just rattling off numbers and you're just trying to scribble numbers and then there's like 17 people saying bingo at the same time. Those are the high stakes bingo.
Is that how it
But
typically works?
no, I think that's like there is, I think, competitive bingo. I think that is a real thing. Like people get so into it.
That's an interesting. You know what? I've never even thought about doing it that way and rattling it off as fast as possible so people have to be staying focused.
Yeah, I think they do it with that with bigger crowds because if you do it so slow, then you will like there's 70 people playing bingo, then you're gonna get a lot of them having bingo at the same time. Actually, I was so inspired by playing bingo that I installed a bingo game on my phone
Did
because
you
it was
really?
fun.
That's
I
hilarious.
did. It's called Bingo Blitz. Not sponsored, but it's like it does the same thing where you can have like 4 bingo boards at the same time, and there's a bunch of other players playing. There could be like 40 or 50, but it goes so quick.
So it's not just about getting lucky and having your bingo board. It is absolutely about you paying attention and being the first one.
Exactly.
That's fun. I like that. I might have to do that tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean 3 days ago if you're listening to this. 2 days
There you go.
ago? Yeah, because this drops on Friday. Because it's
Yeah.
Wednesday nights.
Wednesday nights.
My style is pretty much I want you to be able to sit there and talk and have fun with your friends and family. So I'm not going to go too quick. I am going to just let your boards do the talking and see who is going to win. But I think I might mix it up and I might do a speed bingo here and there and just be like, I'm going to read these off as fast as possible. So make sure you're paying attention. You must be the first player to yell bingo. I think that's fun.
Yeah. It could be like I mean, I like your style of bingo a lot too. Like it was very just chill and relaxed and fun.
Yeah, that's how I try to do everything I do in life is be chill and relax, baby.
Uh,
The way bingo works is first you take a dice and you're given a difficulty check. No. No, you have a B, and then I forget how many numbers there are for each letter. It's like 16,
Oh, is it?
15. It's more than 10.
I'm gonna guess 12. Let's look up how many numbers per bingo letter. All right, what's your final guess before I press enter?
16.
All right, I'm gonna say 12. Ooh, I think it's 15.
That means I was closest.
It's true.
That means I am God.
That's true.
No, I'm kidding, you guys. I'm not God. Everybody knows it. And every now and then we do the blackout bingo where you have to get all of them on your bingo board. And we've done X where you have to make an X on your bingo board. And we've done double bingo where you have to get double bingo on your bingo board. But my favorite is just straight up regular bingo. I think that that's the most fun and it gives us enough time to go through it multiple times and get everybody involved. So if I have a say in it, then that's what I say we do.
There you go. There's so many. That's what I like about bingo too, is you can do so many variations of it.
And it's just if you got to go eat and you got to get a drink, well, you don't have to get a drink, but if you got to go out and you want to get some food, there's just no reason not to also play bingo while you're doing it, I feel.
That's true. It just adds to the dining experience.
So, damn, I think that's all we can do to talk about bingo, isn't it?
I will say, did you know about the four corners bingo?
I have no idea what that is.
So there's another variation. I don't know if it's in the base game, but it's in the one I installed on my phone, where if you get all four corners of the bingo card, that's also counts as bingo somehow.
Oh, I've never heard of that before. So they don't have to be in a row.
No, it's just the four corners of the bingo card. I don't know if the middle space even counts for that, but
Well, I mean, the middle space would count whether it counts or not because it's automatically there. Like
that's
it's
also
not like you have. There's no way to get the middle space.
you should add one like what are they called, like bingo ball.
Are you asking what the bingo balls are called?
I'm assuming that's what they're called. I didn't know if there's another name for them. But
I
you
call
should
them
you,
bingo balls, and I call it the bingo basket, and that's what I call everything. But there might be another name for it all.
it's true, but you know what? I like those names better.
Bingo
You should
ball,
do
bingo. Well, look it up. What do you call the bingo basket?
what do you call a bingo basket?
What do you
But
call
what's
a
it?
bingo basket? What do you call a day with a bang?
See, what are bingo balls? Okay, so that is what they're called.
Which makes
Bingo
sense.
ball. This is bingo paper.
Bingo paper. What are you?
You're like,
This is the worst. You're doing the worst things with your mouth. The things you are saying are the worst.
okay, let's see what people also ask. What does 69 mean in bingo?
What is 69? It means you get the 69 space. What the
I
heck?
know. Wait, they have meanings?
What has meanings?
67, Stairway to Heaven. 68, Saving Grace. 69, Favorite of Mine. 70, Three Score and Ten. That one doesn't even rhyme.
Three score and 10.
71, Bang on the Drum. Why is 70 the only one that doesn't rhyme? That bothers me. Apparently they have little phrases next to them. Is it like a nursery rhyme? Is this a thing?
Does it start all the way at 1?
I gotta look at it. Bingo, lingo, numbers explain. Let's see. Oh my god, they all have one. Why do half of these make like they some of them rhyme, some of them don't. Like one is Kelly's eye, two is one little duck, three is a cup of tea, four a knock at the door, five man alive, six Tom Mix slash half a dozen.
Bingo lingo. What the
I like how
heck?
seven says seven lucky seven.
There it is.
Eight. I know it's all here. Nine doctor's orders. 10 p.m.'s den. 11 legs 11. I like how some of these like they're very clever rhymes, like the one two buckle my shoe, and then some of them are just like, yeah, this is a seven. There's so many.
I'm gonna have to print this out and use it, I think.
Here you go. It could be, I guess maybe that's the way that like if you're a competitive bingo player, maybe instead of saying the name like the number multiple times, like they'll be like 54, 54. Instead they go like 54, clean the floor. Maybe that's how they buffer.
This is changing my life forever.
You heard it here first, folks.
This list I found goes up to
Uh,
90.
90? Is there that? Oh yeah, mine is too. 90, top of the shop.
The bingo
There's
we
so
played
let's see
goes.
what's the most. Oh, this doesn't go that big. I wonder if there's bigger bingo boards. I'm sure there
Yeah,
is.
I'm sure there are.
Maybe that's the. All right, let's see the best number that has the best like little phrase attached to it. I've already picked mine.
Oh, am I supposed to pick one?
Pick one, and then we can come up with a new one
All
for
right, all
one of
right,
them.
all right, 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 all right. Well, my computer's. Here we go.
You have 10 seconds.
Let's see. Probably
I
two
picked mine.
little ducks.
Oh, I picked
22 is
17 dancing
called
queen.
two little ducks because two and a two next to each other look like two ducks swimming in the water.
Oh, it does. Oh, and 2 is one little duck.
And I like Dancing Queen. That was the other one I was thinking about picking.
Oh, we almost picked the same one.
We almost did, but guess what? We're idiots.
All right, you have to let's pick a number for each other, and we have to pick a new thing associated with it.
We have to. That's something we have to do right now.
Legal obligation, actually.
Oy, oy, oy. I'm still looking to see if there's a way I can print this list out. This podcast is now diving into. Oh, here we go. Here's a printable list where I can print out of all the. Well, I was going to print it and I was going to bring it with
a
me.
brainstorm. Maybe you should let some of the Herald viewers, is that what listeners, come up with one of the
Yes, it's a
phrases attached to the
podcast.
numbers.
That's how it works.
They could view it. They could stare at their screen at the singular image associated with a podcast.
All right, your new nickname you have to come up with is for 57.
57. All right, and yours is for 25.
25 slime on my thigh. Wait, that doesn't even work. 25 chicken thigh. I can only think of the word thigh.
I'm trying to think of one that.
20,
Okay, 57.
25 meaty ribeye. Well, what does a 25 looks like? 25 looks like, it almost looks like reverse because 2 and 5 are facing the opposite ways. So reverse, reverse. Everybody clap your hands. And then you just do the whole entire song and dance.
The entire one associated with it.
That's my pick.
There you go. I'm gonna say 57. A guy named Kevin.
A guy named Kevin.
Guy named Kevin. That's 57 is just a guy named Kevin.
You know what also happened this last week that was pretty cool?
What happened?
I hosted a stand-up comedy show.
And it was amazing.
Wasn't it?
It was so good. There was so much talent, and it was such a cool venue. And they had cool little light up lights on the tables.
Yes, the place that I hosted the stand-up comedy show is, I don't know, what does Whimsical call it? I think they might call it the venue at Whimsical. Let me look it up because I should know. Because this is also where I will be doing bingo from now going forward.
Ooh. It's a very fancy space.
Yeah.
Highly recommend.
It is a
everyone
large bingo every Wednesday. It's at the venue. Yeah, at the venue at Whimsical Cafe. Tomorrow at 6:30. 10 people responded as interested. Oh, good. I hope they all come.
I know I'll be there.
I need to invite people. Invite, 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 invite. Whoops. Clicked the wrong thing. Because the more people that come, the better it is for me if you're there. So
Bingo got a lot of competition too, because it feels better when you get that win.
Does it?
Yes, it's like this the chance. The stakes get higher.
See, I've never gotten to play bingo. I have only hosted bingo. Says it right there. Bingo every Wednesday, 6:30 at the venue at Whimsical Cafe. Free to play with drink food purchase. Hosted by Noon and Time with Harold. 31 East Broad Street. Select food and drinks available. So it does require you to get something. Get yourself some food. Anyways, yeah. So a while ago, when I was meeting with Whimsical Cafe about all the different things I wanted to do at their venue, the first thing that came up was, hey, why don't we try to do a local stand-up comedy show? And I was like, you know what? That would be great. I can do that. I can find people who would be able to do that, who would be able to do local stand-up, and I will host it. So we did that, and it's been building for about a month and a half, 2 months, and we finally had the show, and it went so well. It was so funny. We only had one guy who had a hard time, and he was our closer, which honestly, it's not really a big deal if your last one is not your strongest. I don't think. I think it matters that the majority of it was strong. And he just felt overwhelmed by how good everyone was before him.
Yeah,
Um,
they were.
yeah, everybody. We had Laura Hug. She came down from Chicago. We had Emily Holden. She's based in Atlanta. We had Lanice Lyons. She's based in Atlanta. We had Link Henderson. He's based in Noonan. We had Daniel Powell, my little brother. He's based in Noonan. So he was a nepotism casting. And then he ended up freaking smashing it.
I mean, probably one of my favorite comedians of the entire night.
Yeah, him and Lanice were my favorite. But like I said, everybody was legit. I would book every single one of them again. And then Anthony DeGeneiro was from Noonan, and he brought in a huge crowd, and he was super funny. Like I don't remember any of his specific jokes, but I
He's my,
remember I think laughing the most consistently because Daniel's I laughed the hardest, but Daniel does a lot of setup. Like he'll build and build, and you'll be like, "Oh, okay, what's gonna happen? I think I know what he's going with, but I'm not sure." And then it hits, and you're like, "Holy crap, olies! There you go, boy." But Anthony was just consistent. Anthony and Emily were just bam, 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 nonstop.
yeah, like rapid fire laughs. Yeah, I agree with you with like Daniel. He tells a whole story before the joke, and it works so well.
It really does. I've seen him do stand up. Well, he's only done it one other time. At my girlfriend's birthday party about a year and a half ago, he did stand up, and he was great at that too. But it was to like 4 or 5 people. There was just a few of us sitting and watching.
Mhm.
Anyways, I don't know when the next one will be, but I can't wait for it.
And I tell you, to the listeners out there, do not miss it because it is so good.
So I felt really good about myself, which is good because I have not been feeling really good about myself. You know, I've been sad there, Harriet. I've been a sad boy. You know this.
Mhm.
I was crying on a dirty theater floor just a couple days ago.
It was floor time.
It was floor time. So, with that being said, I think what we'll probably do. I don't know. I keep trying to decide if I want to take a break from the podcast and call this the season finale or not, but I still haven't decided because this episode has not been the most boring episode ever.
You know, we've been talking about bingo. It doesn't get more exciting than that.
We have, but then when I think about, well, what am I going to talk about next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that, then I start getting a little frizzle frazzled.
Have you thought about letting people kind of pick a topic for you or giving them some options?
I think if I asked to do it and people didn't like suggest things, I'd get my feelings hurt. I'd be like, wow, everybody hates the podcast. Everybody hates me. I hate life.
Oh no. You could do like one test run of it.
Yeah, let's do that next week. We'll call that the season finale. And next week we can do viewers' questions, listeners' questions, whatever. They view too. They view life through the lens.
The lens of D&D. They roll their
Will
dice.
you stop forcing D&D on us?
Never.
Young and Keen, 15. Sweet 16. Dancing Queen. Coming of Age is 18.
This sounds like a Disney movie.
These are the different bingos. I'm still reading them off. Oh, I just got a text from... Ooh, my prescription's ready. Hell yeah. I gotta go by Walmart and get a prescription.
I was trying to think of a bingo letter or a bingo number that would go with that.
91.
Which one?
They don't have a 91, so 91, let's go for a run.
Yeah. 92. We forgot our shoes.
Is there not one for shoes already? That seems crazy.
There might not be.
No,
I was saying like we're going for a run, but then we forgot our shoes. It's the whole story building from 91 to 92.
From 91 to 92, I forgot my bingo shoe.
That's a new song. That's the one you have to sing every single bingo you host.
I will print out this list though, because I do think this is fun, having this printable list of different bingo terms and silly things. I think that's fun. And I will do some speed bingo, which means the first one to call bingo successfully will win the prize, and there cannot be two winners. And I will do regular bingo, and I'll probably do X marks the bingo, because I think all of that is good ideas. So, you know what? We learned some things here today.
That we did.
What you got planned for the rest of the day?
What do I planned? Well, I will probably go and rather work on some music things, play video games, and then I'll be heading to an acting class.
That's right, your acting class, which is which place?
Studio South.
Which is where?
In Noonan.
And how's that going?
It's going very good. We're working on some kind of scene today. I need to go look at that again.
It's going very good. We're doing something that I don't care or remember about at all.
I don't care about it. I'm just still a little sleepy today. But you know, we've been talking about bingo, so I'm waking right up.
What'd you guys do last week?
Last week, we watched a bunch of like famous and non-famous scenes, and we analyzed acting, and we talked about that. And then we talked about like emotions training. There's a lot of really cool stuff that you don't think about, and it gets you thinking of like the behind the scenes stuff when you're watching shows.
For somehow, that is the most boring thing I've ever heard. No, I'm kidding. Do you guys get to do like a showcase at some point?
I believe so. I think we do like a end of the class like thing for like I think it's like a mock audition thing.
You hear my cat throwing up in the background?
Oh no.
Yeah, that's great. Can you stop? All right, I think they stopped. What a horrible thing to have happen in the background. Which probably means, yep, we should get out of here. Any last words?
My words of wisdom are: if you hear somebody throwing up, just tell them to stop.
And it works. Oh wait.
It works.
No. Oh. See, this cat, when we got him, we had a certain food, and we ran out of that food really fast. And so we got him a different food, and he started having seizures and stuff from eating it. So he's got a lot of health issues. He's like twice the size of his sibling. We think sibling, maybe not sibling. He's slower. He's less quirky. Can't change his food up. He'll vomit everywhere. He's just a mess. And he's proving it right now while we're trying to record our podcast. He is just trying to vomit up some vomit.
Oh.
So what I'll be doing after this is cleaning up cat throw up.
What a way to spend an afternoon.
But I hope to see everybody at bingo on Wednesday.
Be there or be a square bingo boy.